Headlines on the wire right now. We'll have more shortly, but that Apple is launching a newly designed podcast app, which includes channels to find new shows from favorite creators and paid podcast subscriptions. So like you said, it may come down to who's in the ecosystem, who's out of it, and what the details are.
Yeah, exactly. And, my big question, just sort of seeing these headlines, is how's it going to work if you don't use Apple's podcast player? Is all of this going to require you to be in the Apple app? Or if you're, using something like an Overcast or a Castro, are you going to have to sort of upend all of your podcast listening? So there are a lot of questions to be answered here. But, I think you really can't understate what a significant shift this is for the podcasting industry. I'm not surprised that Spotify is taking a dip right now.
But Casey, sort of dwell on that for one more moment, if you could. Why is this so important? So let's back out for a moment. Like you said, Apple created the podcast category, but has somehow fallen completely behind. How is it now trying to catch up?
So what Apple didn't do was create easy ways for the people who make podcasts to make money, right? And so you saw this whole alternative ecosystem sprout up on Patreon and on some other channels. A lot of people would start a Discord server just to sort of have a way to monetize their audiences. When Apple comes into the market and says, we're going to offer creators those tools directly, it sort of resettles the entire landscape for creators, depending on how hard they go into it, how good they execute the product. But it's really hard to think of a bigger shift for the podcast industry than Apple deciding it wants to let creators monetize directly.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.